So today I just wanted to do a quick video for those people that are starting to learn how to raise their vibration. I just wanted to speak about the importance of consistency and building momentum. So when you first start meditating and you start doing positive affirmations and things like that, it feels a bit boring at first. You feel like you're not doing anything because you can't really see any effects. Like you can't see any manifestations happening, or there's nothing that's really happening on the outside, but energetically wise you're doing the most. And that's what you need to stay focused on, is the fact that you are actually building and that you are actually doing something. And another way that you can tell from what you're doing is how you feel. That's how you instantly get to know what you're doing energetically, is the fact that you start to feel better. That's also a manifestation, is how you're feeling. Your emotions are letting you know that you're moving up the emotional scale of reality. Even if you're just fine-tuning and you're just slowly moving, you are moving. Once you've stopped meditating, or once you've stopped doing them affirmations, let's say you go out and then the next day you're hungover, then you can't be bothered. It's so easy to slip back into old negative thought patterns or old negative routines because it's a dominant thing within you. So until you have been able to push past that dominating state or that dominating piece of mind, and you've pushed past it, it's going to be hard for you to stay positively focused. For instance, if you've meditated for 2-3 days and then on the 4th day you decide you can't be bothered to meditate, it's so easy for your momentum to subside, and then you go back into old thought patterns. Then you'll find yourself back at square one again. So now you're going to have to start that positive momentum building again. And it's going to be longer and harder for you to reach a state of mind or a state of being where you're actually making an actual change within yourself. When you're consistent and each day you're building and you're building and you're building and you're building, then the more that you build and the longer you stay consistent, is the quicker positive results will come to you, and the quicker you will get more positive manifestations happening within your life. So I was trying to think of an analogy that I could use to try and explain it a bit better, and the first thing that came into my head was a Jack in the Box. It's probably not the best, but it's gonna kind of explain what I'm talking about. So for instance, let's say you're winding up a Jack in the Box. Depending on how fast or how slow you go is how fast that Jack pops out of the box. And it's the same with positive changes that you want to make within your life. Is the slower you take to do the energy work and the longer you take, is the longer things are going to happen for you. The more you want it, is the more consistent and determined you're going to be and dedicated you're going to be into making that change. So the energy work is just going to be, it's going to come easy to you. So the goal is to build momentum. You're going to start day 1, and then day 2, you got to be consciously aware that you're building on the energy that you did the day before. And then day 3, you're going to be consciously aware that you build on the energy that you've done the 2 days before. So the more consistent you are, is the more faster things will start happening, and the faster your energy will start moving. And you also need to be consciously aware that the minute that you decide that you're not going to meditate is the day that all that energy subsides, unless you can find a way in that next day to stay positive and stay focused. Because the minute you start picking up on those old negative thought patterns and old negative routines of behavior, is the less positive energy that you're going to keep within yourself. So if you want to start removing old negative thought patterns and changing old behavior patterns, then you have to be consistent in building new ones. You have to be consistent. That's the only way these new thought patterns and actions will become a habit, is you being consistent, being repetitive with it and staying focused. But the minute that you stop, it's easier for you to go back. When you're in your day and you're trying to keep your mind positive and you're trying to keep positive thoughts and say positive things, a good thing that I've learned and what I can teach you now is that it takes approximately 16 seconds for a thought to gain momentum. So if you're in a positive mind state and you start thinking negative thoughts, you've got 16 seconds to quickly change that up and bring your thoughts back to a positive state of being. Start thinking positive thoughts and change it around. Think 10 positive thoughts that can wipe out that negative thought. You've got 16 seconds before your mind starts to pick up and build momentum on that thought, and then starts creating another thought like it. When it comes to changing negative patterns within your behavior, it takes approximately 30 days for new ways of doing things to become a habit. So if you are consistent and you are changing the way you're moving and your attitude towards things and the way you're doing things, it's good to do it for 30 days straight. Try and stay consistent for 30 days straight before this starts to become a routine. It starts to become something that you don't have to work so hard on. Now it becomes engraved and embedded into your subconscious mind. So that becomes a part of who you are. And that's how you start to rewire your mind. This is why I teach in my videos, I don't know if you watch my morning routines, why I talk about catching your thoughts first thing in the morning and thinking positive thoughts straight away. Because when you wake up in the morning and you catch your thoughts before you start to think anything negative, and you start thinking positive thoughts and you hold that for 16 seconds, your mind will start picking up on more positive thoughts. So that's why I say for a couple of minutes, try and sit there and start thinking about things to appreciate, things to love, things that just bring you into a positive, happy place, because then you're going to start building momentum for that day, positive momentum. Then it's more likely that the rest of your day will start to follow suit. So it takes 16 seconds for a thought to gain momentum. So that's why you want to try and think positive thoughts. And it takes 30 days for a new behavioural pattern to be embedded and become a habit. As we're stepping into a new year, I would like to encourage as much people as possible to start doing this energy work, start learning how to raise your vibration, start building positive momentum within your life, because that's how you start to create a life that you prefer, not the life that was just given to you. And I pray and hope that your year is filled with prosperity, productivity, growth, expansion, love, guidance, and all the rest of the beautiful stuff. I hope and pray that everyone starts to look for the God fragment within them and starts to make that connection so that you and God can co-create. You can ask for protection, you can ask for guidance. And then once you've started to experience that God fragment within you, that's when your faith will grow. That's when you can then start to live out your truth and then start teaching other people and start helping other people on your way up as they're on their way up as well. I'll just pray that people help each other, start to love each other correctly and stop all the bad mindedness and just come together, because we've been through so much shit. All of us have. So now it's time to start living good and start helping others live good.